Greetings to everyone who truly desires to finally understand stuttering or stammering, a so-called mysterious speech disorder, and eliminate all communication difficulties once and for all. Hi, I am Anna Dira, a former systemic speech therapist with 30 years of experience and an out-of-system master of oral speech for the last 12 years. My mentor and I have helped thousands of stutterers from various countries eliminate difficulties and tension in their speech in only 3 days. No matter their age, the language they spoke, and the severity or form of their stuttering, all our students have switched from stuttering behavior to the naturally balanced, normal speaking behavior given to them from birth. So are you ready to discover a healing truth that has the power to liberate you, your loved one, or your client from the slavery of a deceptive matrix, convincing millions of people of the existence of a so-called incurable stuttering disorder? Then please sit back and listen to my story. So they say that stuttering is a speech disorder. But have you ever challenged this dogma of the system? Have you asked yourself the following simple questions? What is speech? How do ordinary people speak so easily without any treatment, training, or practicing any technique? And what precisely can be disordered in you and your perfect body? Every baby naturally sees, hears, and mindlessly copies the speech behavior of the people around, just like this bird.
You tell me what's up, what's up, what's up? I know,
I know, right? I know.
Can you say bye-bye?
Bye-bye, bye-bye.
Typically, all children learn normal speech from a normal speaker and abnormal speech from an abnormal speaker. Now, who are our first speech role models? Usually, each child observes and imitates the speech behavior of the parents. Some of them may speak perfectly, while others may not. And because of that, their child may show the very first signs of a so-called speech disorder, which the system has labeled with the term developmental stuttering. Are you with me so far? Bear with me, guys. I suggest you keep watching this video to the end and discover the other 2 main reasons some children begin to stutter. Also, I'll help you figure out the only natural, reliable, and effective solution for solving all your speech difficulties once and for all. Are you ready for your speech freedom? Then let's continue the process of your awakening. In reality, stuttering is the initial stage of the natural development of human speech. Every child stutters while beginning to imitate a standard oral word pronounced by his parents. He observes what they do with their speech organs and then copies their speaking action with his speech organ, naturally building the memory of his speech muscles. Just like the fall of this baby making his first walking steps, each child also fails his very first attempt to speak. He'll naturally stumble, imitating a new, unfamiliar word, mispronounce, prolong, or repeat several times the beginning of the word. But all these copying mistakes are normal. Just like this baby, still continuing to master his walking after the fall, an ordinary child repeatedly imitates the standard speech example of his parent until he begins to sound exactly like mommy or daddy. This is how most little speech learners quickly grow out of their stuttering stage without anyone's help. But sometimes the natural process of children learning to speak like their parents becomes disrupted for three main reasons. I've already mentioned the first stuttering cause, which is a variety of parental mistakes. Let's look at the most common ones. Too often, the baby's father and mother serve as models of incorrect speech behavior. They themselves speak quickly, indistinctly, and even stutter at times. So the child has no choice but to copy their unbalanced speech. A bad example is inevitably contagious. As soon as a child sees poorly speaking people, he unfortunately immediately focuses his attention on their unusual behavior because it stands out against the common boring actions of the ordinary people. And the child begins to unconsciously mimic the speech errors of bad speakers. Here is another parental mistake: when the parents bring their child in the environment of poorly speaking people and let him imitate them. Please understand that our consciousness reflects everything like a mirror, and our memory records our actions like a video recorder. The actions that we have performed more emotionally and frequently than others are remembered especially quickly, and it doesn't matter whether it's a joke or not. The moment we do and repeat something bad, our memory records it in all seriousness, and we begin to automatically do it before we can think of whether it's appropriate or not at the moment. This brings us to an especially dangerous mistake: when parents allow their child to communicate with children who stutter. It turns into a real disaster for a youngster as he begins to emotionally, with malicious pleasure, tease imitating a stutterer, and as a result, distorts the work of his own speech organ. For fun, unaware of how harmful his actions are, such a joker has seriously upset his speech balance, began to experience difficulty in moving his own speech muscles, and very quickly developed persistent stuttering. Why? Because his muscle memory has stored the bad actions he repeated too much, too emotionally, and for too long. These actions became automatic. This is how many kindergarteners and school students program their speech organs for relentless stuttering, according to the type they have imitated for fun, after their classmate who stuttered. And another parental mistake causing a child to stutter is that some parents allow their youngster to do whatever he wants, letting him constantly distort his speech for fun. Some ignorant parents enjoy watching their child making faces, fooling around with his speech organ. They don't realize that his foolish behavior often causes him to stutter. Instead of demonstrating and enabling him to copy their standard speech, mommy, daddy, and other family members permit their child to speak in a funny way. They even model for him foolish games with their speech organs, turning their mimicking child into an abnormally speaking stutterer. After all, stuttering is a special speech behavior of a special person who is unaware of and doesn't observe natural speech norms, standard for everyone. Please understand that it's the parents who must monitor what, whom, why, and how much their child should mimic. Parental mistake number 5 also commonly causes stuttering. It's when the parents make their child emotionally uncomfortable, forcing him to consciously turn away from his mom or dad and withdraw from copying their standard speech actions. This often happens after parents have greatly frightened their child with loud scolding or dissatisfaction with his or her self-expression. Sometimes mommy and daddy are arguing with each other in front of their child, and the little one is afraid to even look at their angry mouths, spitting out bad, dangerous words. The fear of speaking always develops in the early childhood. So I have explained a few possible parental mistakes that cause a child to experience various speech difficulties and begin to stutter. However, there are 2 other reasons for everyday technical failures in the speech balance of a young person. But let's talk about them in our next video, which is going to be even more insightful and maybe even more shocking for you. Feel free to comment under this video, ask your questions, and don't forget, share it with your friends or your loved ones who stutter.